Ms. Skinner, in your view, should Hockey Canada then be most interested in maintaining stability, or should Hockey Canada be interested in creating cultural change?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I think that Hockey Canada can do both. I think the cultural change has already started with my presence on the board, starting in November 2020. I think it's been accelerated. I think stability is an important consideration, especially in view of the fact that we have an entire board that's up for election in just a couple of months' time. And I don't think it's in the best interest of hockey or Hockey Canada for this organization to be destroyed. I don't think that a mass exit, if all the board were to resign and if all of senior management to be replaced, who would they be replaced with? What will that mean for hockey? How will that impact the boys and girls?
Let me be a little bit more specific then. Every leading voice having to do with organizational change would say that the way to produce a desired culture is actually to start with the leader. Now, you seem to be very insistent that this leader needs to be protected, that he should be kept in place, and that somehow organizational change or a culture shift is still possible. And you're saying that that actually starts with you. You just said that you're a very instrumental piece in that change, but you don't seem to be open to changing the culture by starting with the leader. So what I'm hearing then from you and Hockey Canada then is that there's these words that are being nuanced, there's these platitudes that are being made in order to try to pacify the public, whether that be the public at large or players or parents. But I'm not actually seeing meaningful structures being put in place in order to generate the change that is needed in order to create a Hockey Canada that we as Canadians can be proud of, that players can join, that parents can be part of, and know that the players are going to be in the best care possible. I'm just curious, why is the leader of this organization being protected rather than being held accountable?
Madam Chair, the leader is not being protected. Management is independent from the Board of Hockey Canada. Those lines are clear.
Ms. Skinner, with all due respect, is it not the responsibility of the board to determine whether or not the leader of Hockey Canada stays?
Absolutely, it is, but that's not a measure of protection.
I just wanted to make sure that was clear. So it is your decision then as chair, it is your responsibility to lead the board in its decision-making process and to determine whether or not the leader of Hockey Canada stays or goes. Is that correct?
It is the board's decision to determine the employment of the chief executive officer. That's correct.
Absolutely. Thank you. And you've decided, contrary to all of the literature out there, all of the research that has been done that would say start with the leader. And you have said, no, we are going to protect the leader, we are going to keep the leader, and somehow magically still change culture. Is that correct?
No, I'm sorry. Respectfully, I disagree with that. We've not said we are going to protect the CEO and somehow magically change the culture. We have been working very hard over the past 2 years to put in place systems, and I mentioned the policies that were recently passed. Just last week, a new discipline and complaints policy, our independent third-party mechanism, was adopted. The board carefully evaluates and considers whether we have the appropriate people in place based on all of the information. We have done that.
Ms. Skinner, I'm down to time here. Can you just outline for us and for Canadians, more importantly, what are the 3 top qualities that Scott presents that make him the most effective leader to bring Hockey Canada through this instrumental change? The 3 top qualities that make him the best leader for this.
That's a question that
Madam Chair,
that I would have liked to have some
surely your board has discussed this. What makes him the best leader?
What makes the CEO and his management team is a good leader is, first of all, he's got an excellent team in place that is enabling us to be able to make significant change. And I appreciate that some may disagree or may not have that perspective, but I believe we are making significant change for the organization under that leadership. We also need someone who is fully dedicated and aligned with the strategic plan, and Mr. Smith is.
Thank you, Ms. Skinner. I don't believe you answered the question, though.